A huge recruiting weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska, about as big as it could have been, and we're going to break it all down because David Sanders, the number one offensive tackle in America, was on campus. Also, the Huskers are now trending for a big flip, and another 5-star is coming into town as soon as the week starts. In this video, I got Sean Callahan from HuskerOnline. We're going to talk all about it, but first, Husker fans, hit subscribe. We need Nebraska fans on board to the On3 Recruits channel. We love talking Nebraska recruiting. All right, let's bring in Sean Callahan from HuskerOnline. So we're going to talk David Sanders. But first, wide receiver Isaiah Mosy is now trending. He's committed to Oregon, but he is now trending to Nebraska. What are your sources saying about a potential flip?
Well, I'd say it looks fairly likely right now for Nebraska. I mean, you got a few things here. Obviously, his father, Jamar Mosy, left Central Florida to join the Nebraska staff. And he's going to be an on-the-road recruiter for Matt Rule, I believe, and he's going to be the assistant wide receivers coach, Matt Rule said at Big Ten Media Days when we talked to Coach Rule here earlier in the week. So it all the dots connect. I mean, his son plays wide receiver. He's been to Nebraska several times, and now that his dad is a part of the coaching staff, this one just seems like it's going to happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happened sooner here rather than later.
Yeah, we're taping this on early Sunday afternoon, so people watching this now, Mosy may have already flipped. If he did, you heard Sean say that it's likely. If he didn't, it's still likely. We'll see what happens. Now, let's talk about David Sanders because the whole city of Lincoln knew that David Sanders was in town. Dylan Raiola went to pick him up. He got full service, red carpet rolled out, everything. David Sanders spent about 48 hours in Lincoln. What are your sources saying coming out of this one, Sean?
Yeah, it was actually quicker than that. He wasn't even in Lincoln for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
It was an afternoon arrival on Friday with an early morning Saturday departure. Then he went on to Tennessee. So for Nebraska, this was their second crack at David Sanders. He was here for his official weekend on Mother's Day. Dylan Raiola was not in town, though, and that is kind of the key recruiter for Nebraska on David Sanders. Dylan Raiola was away at his sister's college graduation, was not able to be in Lincoln on that Mother's Day weekend. So Dylan Raiola led the charge. I mean, he was with Sanders when he arrived and was with him the entire weekend. So they're making a strong push. There's no doubt. I mean, you get the sense right now, Tennessee is probably the team to beat, but I think Nebraska might be running second at this point. I think those are the two teams right now that have pulled ahead, and Sanders, no coincidence, visited both those schools here on Friday and Saturday over the weekend. And you got to give Matt Rule and the Huskers a lot of credit. They have not backed down, and clearly Nebraska's collective, the 1890 Nebraska collective, has been very aggressive, I think, as putting a package together for a player like Sanders. He's arguably as coveted as any in the country, as the number 2 ranked overall player in the On3 industry rankings.
Yeah, you got to get serious about a player that can change the trajectory of a program. So we'll see what happens with David Sanders. He went off to Tennessee. You know, when you talk to your sources about where Nebraska stands, I mean, do they feel that Nebraska has kind of overcome Ohio State for that maybe 2 spot? You know, it's always been Tennessee, Ohio State, Tennessee, and somebody, whether it be Georgia or South Carolina or Clemson, but it's always kind of been Tennessee. Is it now Tennessee and Nebraska? Inside Scoop viewers, listen up. Whether you're a seasoned gym goer or just starting your fitness journey, Fitbod is essential for your workout. It's a fitness app that customizes each workout based on your goals and adapts them as you improve. The app is great for me because I kind of go in my workouts in spurts, right? Sometimes I'm into it. Sometimes I'm not as into it as I probably should be. But the Fitbod app helps keep my consistency up. It makes my workouts more efficient. I actually spend less time in the gym now than I did before because I use the app. It's been great at keeping me focused, giving me a better workout each time. I also like how it keeps your, quote, gym streak updated, which keeps me motivated, holds me accountable. Most importantly, I never stand around in the gym looking dumb anymore, wondering what I should do next. Fitbod has it all figured out. Whether you work out in a fancy gym or you're at home in your garage, Fitbod can help you get better each workout. It's like a personal trainer, but better. It's cheaper and easier to use as a custom fitness plan that works for you. Add Fitbod to your workout essentials. Here's what we're going to do. Join Fitbod today. Get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app for free at fitbod.me/inside scoop. That's fitbod.me/inside scoop.
That's the feel I have right now. I mean, I think Tennessee is less than 4 hours away from his home in Charlotte. So they've got a lot of things going. He's been to Knoxville 7-8 times at least. They can drive there. It's 3.5, 4 hour drive. So the family is very familiar with that trip. So that's why, I mean, I give them the edge right now for a lot of reasons. But yeah, Nebraska, just from the conversations I've had over the last week, I mean, it feels as if they are kind of running second right now for David Sanders. And they've made up a lot of ground. I mean, they've definitely gotten the attention of the Sanders family, enough so that they wanted to get to Lincoln and spend one more opportunity here to check things out before that big August 17th decision date.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, they could have easily gone to Ohio State if they wanted. They could have gone anywhere that they wanted to because, like you said, there's even, you can go on visits all the way up through Tuesday. So there's technically still a couple more days, but they chose to go to Nebraska and Tennessee, most likely the final 2 visits before he makes his final decision. All right. I like where Nebraska stands in this one. Let's talk about another 5-star. That's Michael Terry III, the number 1 athlete in America. He's going to be in Lincoln starting on Monday. He'll leave Tuesday before the dead period ends. Michael Terry III, Oregon, Texas, and Nebraska. Do you think that those are the 3 teams that he's going to ultimately choose from when he's ready?
Yeah, they are the 3 teams right now for sure. And I mean, I think they all kind of have their own element. I mean, Nebraska's big recruiting pitch has been, look, we're going to create a position for you on offense. It's going to be the Michael Terry position because we think you're such a versatile athlete, almost like a Deebo Samuel or something of that caliber with the San Francisco 49ers, that we're going to create a spot for you and that fits all of your strengths because you can play running back, you can play receiver, you can do a lot of things as a football player. And so Nebraska has been very good with that approach. Garrett McGuire and Matt Rule have recruited. Now Texas is definitely, a big threat because they're the home state team. We know, and NIL. I mean, Texas's NIL is very strong. We've seen that over the last couple of years, and obviously Oregon's, they can get any player they want with being backed by Nike and Phil Knight. So this will be a battle for Nebraska, but there's no doubt it's a 3-horse race, and that's one that you don't really have a feel today who would be the leader at this point, because I think all 3 of those teams have done a pretty good job on Michael Terry III.
It's crazy to say that I kind of feel better about David Sanders landing at Nebraska than Michael Terry III, but both are in contention. Nebraska fans, talk to us. Let us know, comment section below. How do you guys feel about Sanders? How do you feel about Terry? How do you feel about the weekend in general with Dylan Raiola playing the ace recruiter on the trail? Gotta love it. Sean Callahan from HuskerOnline, thank you for dropping by the Inside Scoop today.
Hey, anytime. Appreciate it.
Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.